Now at 7 this morning, earthquake fears still rattling Southern California as the aftershocks continue. We have a live report from the epicenter where we're expected to get new information soon.
Plus, fans are reacting on social media this morning to the sudden death of a young Disney Channel star just weeks before his movie is set to premiere.
And a look from our Angeles Forest Cam, looking gorgeous out there. Take a look. The sun has come up. We've got some clouds out there. And you're watching Eyewitness News for Sunday, July 7th.
Live from ABC-7, this is Eyewitness News.
And good morning, everybody. I'm John Gregory.
And I'm Brandy Hitt. As you can see, we're tracking the latest earthquakes continuing to rattle Southern California. A lot of aftershocks still being felt. But first, let's get a check of the weather with meteorologist Kimmy Evans.
Yeah, weather-wise, thankfully, things are good. But
You're wearing aftershock yellow.
I was like,
you blend right in, Kimmy.
Earlier, I was wearing sunrise yellow. Now it's aftershock. And by the way, this is on an 18-hour loop. So that's what we've got it looped on. So many earthquakes and aftershocks in the 18 hours. But weather-wise, things are looking fantastic. Certainly is picking up starting to warm up for us. I'm sorry, it's going to cool down for us, but warm up for the day. That's what we're looking at. Okay, cloudy conditions to get your day going. 64 degrees in Long Beach, 3 miles an hour for the winds. And here's what we've got. These temperatures climbing into the upper 70s for the valley spots. We are dropping the temperatures down a couple of degrees compared to where we were yesterday. And the clouds are going to be a little bit more stubborn as you get going today, but beautiful. Wrightwood, 54 degrees there. So there's that cloud cover. There's a slight chance, a teeny tiny chance we could see a little bit of drizzle, but not a whole lot. Really more into tomorrow morning. I'm going to fast forward that timestamp. You can see the clouds just hugging that coastline a little bit into the afternoon. And then as we get on into tomorrow, we can start to see a little bit more in terms of some moisture out there. But overall, not looking too bad. Now, keep in mind, temperatures again are dropping compared to where we were yesterday. So just slightly cooler, but still beautiful. Seeing a lot of 80s out there. Lake Elsinore, mid 80s, 76 for LA. So those temperatures coming down a couple of degrees. So mild conditions today. But guys, we have a huge heat wave headed our way, so we're going to talk more about that in just a little bit. But for now, John, I'll send it back over to you.
All right, Kimmy. Well, now to the developing story we've been following and feeling. It's been 2 days since that 7.1 earthquake rocked Southern California, but still nerves are rattled. Since the quake, there have been literally thousands of aftershocks, and people are wondering when it's going to all stop. We have a team of reporters covering the story this morning.
Rachel Brown is in LA, where officials are expected to give us an update on the severity of these quakes today. But we begin with Jade Hernandez, live in Ridgecrest this morning, where the Red Cross is also helping residents in need right now. Jade, how's it going out there?
Good morning. We're live in Freedom Park. This is just behind McGee Community Center, where the Red Cross has set up a temporary shelter. Not everyone felt safe sleeping outside because of those aftershocks you were talking about, so they pitched a tent, couple of tents back there, and they slept outside. I spoke to a very special person just about a half hour ago. She works with the Red Cross. Her name is Alex, and she is the Red Cross overnight manager. She says 103 residents signed up to take shelter at the McGee Community Center here in Ridgecrest. She says it's not necessary for residents to stay at the shelter to make use of the services provided by the Red Cross. They can come here for meals, showers, or to meet with a caseworker without staying here. She said there are many ways to access aid and relief for those who need it. Residents and even those who are volunteering like her have had to deal with these small daily aftershocks, which affect the way a person even thinks.
I am supposed to be vertically coherent for a 12-hour shift, and dealing with the aftershocks after every one. I was going into the dorm to make sure that the individuals were okay, the building was okay, having to walk the property. So it's a lot of getting ready to go, constantly on the edge of getting ready to jump.
And it's not difficult to understand why this kind of underground force could frighten anyone. A home security camera caught this. Deborah Brugel was in her pool when the 7.1 quake happened, and she managed to climb out without getting hurt on Friday. Again, we are behind the community center at the Freedom Park, and according to the Red Cross, about 26 people slept in this park overnight. And there are so many agencies that have just stepped in since Thursday and Friday's quake. In fact, the LA County Fire Department sent 12 firefighters here. They're staying right next door to the community center, which is City Hall. That's their base. They are going to be here temporarily, just in case, on standby until further notice. Reporting live, Jade Hernandez, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
So many people on standby waiting to see what happens next. Thanks, Jade. We're going to check back in with you in about 30 minutes, see if there are any other updates coming out of.
They do have a lot of resources, which is certainly good news. All right, Jade, thanks. This morning, volunteers will be back out at Trona High School distributing cases of water to people who need it as crews continue the repairs of several water main breaks in that small town. Trona saw significant damage in the earthquakes, including the water main breaks, and now people are being told to boil their water until further notice.
I'm about to move. It's nerve-wracking.
I just grabbed my cell phone and my glasses, and I tried to make it out here as quickly as I could.
And water distribution will start again at 8 a.m. this morning. Once again, that is at Trona High School.
And as we've mentioned, of course, even though the big quake was on Friday, those aftershocks do continue.
Yeah, let's get a live look at our quake cam right now. You can get a sense of the type of activity we're seeing. A lot of activity. It's not as severe as Friday, thank goodness. The good news, seismologists at Caltech say the chances of aftershocks are decreasing and the intensity of the quakes is also weakening.
Let's check in with Eyewitness News reporter Rachel Brown now. She's live in Pasadena, where officials are set to give us another update this afternoon. Rachel.
Yeah, so the latest information we're getting this morning is that it is looking less and less likely for us to see any major aftershocks. This afternoon at 1 o'clock, we will be hearing from emergency management. They're going to talk about preparedness and what we can expect moving forward. We're also going to learn about recent earthquake activity and what it means for future quakes. And if you don't have a plan, we'll hear about the steps we all need to take to make sure our homes and our families are safe. I spoke with USGS seismologist Dr. Robert Graves about the importance of preparedness. Take a listen.
We need to be prepared. This earthquake sequence obviously has impacted the folks out in Ridgecrest pretty dramatically, but for the rest of us, it's a reminder. We live in earthquake country. Check your emergency kit, make sure you have a plan. And if you feel the strong shaking, the best thing to do is drop, cover, and hold on.
Dr. Lucy Jones, a seismologist here at Caltech, we've been hearing a lot from her. She tweeted that in the next week, M4s are still certain. A couple of M5s are likely, but larger quakes, I should say, are looking more and more improbable. That's the latest here in Pasadena. Rachel Brown, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Rachel, thank you for that update there. And as crews continue to survey the damage, Governor Gavin Newsom also got a firsthand look at the impact. He says that he spoke with President Trump about the need for federal assistance.
The President and I just talked about the federal declaration of emergency, and then you move to the next phase of that declaration then that allows individuals to get benefits along the lines of the individual you talk to. So it's sequenced. I have all the confidence in the world the President will be forthcoming.
And many of you continue to share your videos and photos of the quake and its aftermath. First, we want to say thanks to all of you, and we'd like to see more of your videos. If you can safely take them, post your videos and photos with the hashtag ABC7 Eyewitness. They've really been a big help. You can see them air right here on Eyewitness News.
And stay with Eyewitness News for continuing coverage of the earthquakes on air, also online. Plus, get breaking updates on the free ABC7 Los Angeles app, and by following Eyewitness News and our team of reporters on social media. We do have much more news coming up. A shopping center scare.
Yeah, more than a dozen people have been hurt after a massive explosion at a restaurant. We're going to tell you what happened there.
And remembering a young Disney Channel star who we have learned has passed away. How fans are remembering Cameron Boyce this morning.
And at 7:06 this Sunday morning, here's a live look from our camera up at Running Springs. You can see it's clear up top, but a lot of cloud cover still on the bottom for so much of Southern California. We're going to check in with Kimmy Evans. She's breaking down a pretty significant warm up in the forecast after the break. Take a look at all this shaking in Ridgecrest. It sent some fish airborne for a brief moment. The force of that quake triggering that pond. And you can see that fish quickly jump out of the water. Didn't get far, though, before plopping right back in. And once again, thanks to our Eyewitness News viewers and the one who sent in this video of the jumpy fish. Also new this morning, a fire overnight in Commerce sent a pretty large plume of smoke up into the air. We're told this was burning at a lumber yard, and the video was shot by our community journalist, Eric Resendez. LA County Fire authorities say it started as a small grass fire, then quickly grew. Firefighters say it took a little bit more than an hour to knock this one down. Luckily, no injuries were reported.
More than 20 people were hurt in an explosion at a South Florida shopping center. Here's a live view of the aftermath right now. The blast originated in a vacant pizza restaurant. It sent giant chunks of concrete and metal flying through the air, even onto a busy road running alongside the shopping center. The restaurant was destroyed, several other buildings damaged. Fortunately, none of the injuries are life-threatening.
I went underneath my car because there was so much debris falling from the sky. It was like raining big pieces of the roof, the wall, bricks, everything.
Firefighters found ruptured gas lines inside the building, but investigators say it's too early to tell if that was the cause or a result of the explosion. But some big chunks of concrete, man, scary stuff. Still ahead, we're continuing to follow the aftermath of the 7.1 earthquake.
In fact, here's a live look right now out in Burbank, one of the many areas that strongly felt Friday's 7.1 magnitude quake. We're going to have much more on that quake and the continuing aftershocks coming up.
And it's what everybody's talking about on social media this morning. A Disney Channel star is dead, just 20 years old. We have a live report next. (7:14) in the morning. Welcome back, and we're taking a look at our quake cam right now. You can see a lot of activity, although much of it is much less severe than Friday. The good news, seismologists at Caltech say the chances of aftershocks are decreasing. The intensity of the quakes also weakening, but we are expecting to get an update from officials this afternoon. Still a lot of rumbling out there.
A lot of nerves, too, just on edge
Rattled.
here. Now to this, a developing story overnight. Actor Cameron Boyce, known for his roles on popular Disney Channel franchises, died last night.
Yeah, Eyewitness News reporter Natalie Brunell joins us live from Burbank with the details. Good morning, Natalie.
Good morning, John and Brandy. That's right, at just 20 years old. Now, there's been an outpouring of support and condolences on social media ever since the actor's death was confirmed by his family last night. And the cause of death is apparently an ongoing medical condition. Now, I want to show you some images of Cameron because you probably recognize him from his many TV and film projects, including Descendants and Adam Sandler's movie The Grown-Ups. And he was very active and popular on social media with more than 8 million followers. Now, his family issued a statement via a spokesperson saying, quote, "It is with a profoundly heavy heart that we report this morning we lost Cameron. He passed away in his sleep due to a seizure, which was a result of an ongoing medical condition for which he was being treated. The world is now undoubtedly without one of its brightest lights, but his spirit will live on through the kindness and compassion of all who knew and loved him." Now, Cameron was from here in LA and made his acting debut at just 9 years old before achieving stardom as one of the leads in the Disney Channel show Jessie, which ran for 4 seasons. And his role in The Descendants led cable TV film ratings and catapulted him to even greater heights. And the actor was also a humanitarian and dedicated himself to charity work in recent years, introducing former Vice President Joe Biden at his Biden Courage Awards in March. And he was honored with the Pioneering Spirit Award at last year's Thirst Gala. Now, Disney CEO Robert Iger tweeted this morning, quote, "The Walt Disney Company mourns the loss of hashtag Cameron Boyce, who was a friend to so many of us and filled with so much talent, heart, and life, and far too young to die. Our prayers go out to his family and friends." And I want to add that Disney is the parent company of ABC-7. And back out here live, his family is asking for privacy during this understandably very difficult time. Reporting live from the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, Natalie Brunell, ABC-7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Natalie, yes, some very sad news there. So we get more information, we'll try and share it with you. Meanwhile, on a lighter, brighter note, Kimmy's here with us, and weather-wise, looking pretty good out there.
Enjoy it. Looking great out there. You know, and these mild temperatures, they're not lasting long, so enjoy them while they are still here, because we're looking at a pretty big heat wave headed our way. So this is how things are looking right now, mild, calm. We've got the marine layer there, 64 degrees in Long Beach, winds only at about 3 miles an hour, our humidity 80%. So, you know, we've been used to this. That's what we've been seeing over the last handful of days. And here's what we have under these clouds. A lot of these temperatures into the 60s, 77 for Palm Springs, Big Bear 48 degrees. A closer look to Fullerton, 65. Anaheim also coming in at 65 degrees. So here's what's up. A little bit of a temperature tumble is what we're going to see over the next couple of days as these temps come down. So it certainly is on the cool side for us. Mild conditions. And then a chance for drizzle this morning, but a greater chance, I would say, into tomorrow morning. So heads up there as you're heading out to work tomorrow morning. You can see a little bit of that drizzle. And then July fry. Yep, we've got a heat wave headed our way. So expect to see these temperatures starting to climb, but for today, things are nice and mild, calm conditions. In the valleys, these temperatures starting off in the 60s, getting into the 70s by your lunch hour. Now, this marine layer is going to take a little bit longer to clear today than what we've been seeing. So heads up there, it might take until about noon or so. But into the afternoon, a lot of sunshine there. These temperatures in the valleys getting into the upper 70s for us, 76 for your evening hour, right around 6 p.m. Inland Orange County also starting off with a lot of cloud cover in the 60s, getting into the 70s for your noon hour, and then we may just see these temperatures getting close to these mid 70s into the afternoon. All right, so here's a look at our future scan. We're going to put that into motion. You see a little bit of moisture there for this morning. Not a lot, but a chance for a little drizzle. But as we fast forward this timestamp into tomorrow morning, notice a little bit more moisture moves on through. So 6 a.m. as people are heading out the door, you could see a little bit of that. So just be mindful of that. And then gradually that'll clear on out of the way, making way for sunshine into the afternoon once again for us. So we are expecting a decent amount of clearing into the afternoon. Now this, though, is how things are looking right now. Wrightwood 55 degrees with these calm winds. Now what we've got, though, is this trough. So over the next day or two, we're going to see that deepening. And then that's going to bring us some cooler conditions. But as we fast forward this timestamp a little bit more, notice this ridge of high pressure really starts to build, and that is going to bring us that warming trend into next weekend. So we're going to see some toasty conditions. Here's what we do have: gray skies, not clear. How about gray? Gray skies in downtown. 78 is where we were yesterday in downtown Los Angeles, our official reporting station. 82 is our seasonal average. So we were about 4 degrees below average. Overnight lows came in 1 degree higher than the average of 63. But thankfully, we were nowhere near that 104 that we saw back in 2018. Hot stuff. All right, your highs today: Palm Springs 102, 82 for our friends in Beaumont, 72 in Big Bear, 100 right at that century mark in Barstow. Lancaster 92 degrees for you. We're looking at 71 in Malibu. How about 96 for our friends in Bakersfield? A look at your 7-day forecast powered by AccuWeather, showing us these mild conditions today. 76 degrees. These temperatures are coming down from where we were yesterday into tomorrow, even cooler, 74 degrees, but mild conditions for several days here. But notice as we get to Wednesday, the temperatures start to climb back into the 80s. By Saturday, though, 88 degrees. We're going to be getting close to some areas, might even see 90 degrees. Valleys, IE, 81 for you, a little tumble tomorrow, but then 96 by Saturday. So you can see what's happening into next weekend. We're going to see some very, very toasty conditions. Beach communities, don't forget, we still have some strong rip currents out there. Dangerous swimming conditions. Be sure to check in with the lifeguard. You want to use a lot of caution. Keep an eye on the kiddos out there. And folks, just because we have that marine layer and some cloud cover, don't forget the sunscreen. You can still get burned. So 72 for the beaches, climbing into the mid 70s by next weekend. Overall looking great. Surface on the bigger side for us today. Mountains 74. Look at all that sunshine. Into the 80s we go by Thursday. And the deserts at 92 degrees, seeing those triple digits by Thursday as well. So boy, big changes. Brandy is shaking her head over here.
We've had it pretty good.
We have. I know it's July.
Can't complain.
I know. Just get ready.
Thanks, Kimmy.
Thank you, Kimmy.
We're continuing to follow much more on that 7.1 earthquake. But first, how early should you expose your child to a new language? The answer may surprise you in today's Circle of Health report.
Also, the new announcement from Stevie Wonder about his health that his fans, a lot of the fans are relieved about this morning. Welcome back. Taking a live look from our camera out in Long Beach. It's still socked in this morning with that marine layer, but Kimmy, she was mentioning, says a beautiful day is on tap. We're going to have more of the forecast coming up, and we're also going to be continuing to follow the latest information on those earthquakes for you, bringing you a live update from Ridgecrest in the next half hour. Music legend Stevie Wonder is getting the gift of life. Wonder has revealed that he will be receiving a kidney transplant this fall. He made that announcement at a concert in England this weekend, telling fans that he's going to do 3 more shows and then we'll have surgery in September. The 69-year-old said that he already has a donor, adding it's all good, which drew a lot of cheers from the crowd. He also told the crowd that he didn't want his fans to hear rumors first because there had been a recent report that he was facing a serious health issue.
Maybe he'll write a new song about it or something.
Yeah, very creative.
New research finds it's never too early to expose a child to 2 languages. It appears a baby's brain is primed for bilingual learning even before their first birthday.
As Circle of Health reporter Denise Sador explains, it may also give your child an advantage as they continue to learn the languages.
Daniel and Jenny Ring Perez started speaking Spanish to Camila and Alessandra at birth.
I was really committed that these girls really have Spanish as one of their languages so that they can really know themselves as being also from Costa Rica.
They also had Spanish-speaking teachers and time with Daniel's family in Costa Rica.
What I noticed is that their phonetics, it was pretty impressive to see when they started speaking in Spanish how they were able to do the sounds.
That's what researcher Naya Ferian Ramirez found in her study. She measured brain waves from 11-month-olds and discovered they're already learning languages they've been hearing.
At the time that they're getting ready to say their first words, they're already primed to do that.
Bilingual babies showed strong responses to both languages and had strong brain responses in areas that are responsible for executive function. Ramirez says the infant brain is capable of learning 2 languages simultaneously.
If we give babies an opportunity to experience a second language during infancy and early childhood, they will be able and should be able to develop native-like fluency.
Researchers say a child who only hears one language will lose the ability to distinguish those sounds that don't occur in English, while the bilingual child will be able to distinguish those sounds for a lifetime. Denise Tador, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
7:27 now on your Sunday. Still ahead, we're going to take you live to Ridgecrest, right near the epicenter of that 7.1 earthquake. In fact, here's Jade Hernandez.
Just how are Ridgecrest neighbors faring after small aftershocks overnight? That and where they're staying this morning next.
Plus, a lot of people will be coming in and out of LAX today. We'll explain why.
And we're taking a look outside, some cloudy conditions to get your day going, and temperatures still in the 60s, but you know what? Big changes are headed our way. We're looking at mild conditions now, but get ready for a heat wave. Those details coming up.
Live from ABC7, this is Eyewitness News.
Now at 7:30, the aftershocks keep rolling through. This morning, we're expecting to get an update from officials on the earthquake center near Ridgecrest and when they may stop. Good morning. Thanks for staying with us. I'm John Gregory.
And I'm Brandy Hitt. We've got you covered here all day long. We're going to have much more on the earthquakes and the aftershocks that you can see on the map that continue just to develop. First, though, we want to check in with Kimmy Evans because we're wrapping up the 4th of July weekend. I feel like 4th of July kind of got lost in all of this a little bit.
We had some fireworks.
Yeah, we did. Oh, yeah. Things were shaking and rocking and rolling. Well, guys, things are changing for us again into this week. Boy, big changes for us. Right now, we are starting off with a lot of cloud cover. Take a look. 64 degrees in Long Beach, 3 miles an hour for the winds. And here's what's happening. A little bit of a temperature tumble for us. Yeah, things are cooling down for the next couple of days, but then changes happen. Drizzle for today and tomorrow. July fry, that can happen. We are looking at a pretty big warm-up headed our way. So I'll tell you more about that. Inland Empire starting off in the 60s. A lot of clouds this morning. We're looking at a deeper marine layer. It's going to be a little bit more stubborn, taking a little longer to clear on out of the way. And then into the 70s we go as we get to right around 10 a.m. And how about some mid-80s into the afternoon? So mild conditions overall. So today and into tomorrow should be pretty cool days. And by cool, very mild. In the valleys, we are looking at 60s also to get your day going into the lunchtime hour. How about 73? And then into these upper 70s into the afternoon between 2 to 4 p.m., which is when we see the heat of the day. 76 degrees by 6 p.m. or so. So overall, things are looking nice. Beautiful day into the afternoon, but these temperatures temperatures certainly are going to be a little bit cooler than they were yesterday, and into tomorrow, cooling down even more so. But then we have a pretty big warm up headed our way. So we'll tell you a lot more about that in just a bit. But for now, John, Brandy, I'll send it back over to you guys.
Okay, Kimmy, thank you so much. Now this morning, let's get the latest developments out of Ridgecrest after those back-to-back earthquakes have really been keeping residents on alert.
Yeah, some people refusing to sleep under their own roofs. There have been thousands of aftershocks, leaving a lot of people rattled, their nerves rattled. Eyewitness News reporter Jade Hernandez, she is live in Ridgecrest, where the Red Cross is now trying to help folks out. Jade.
John, the Red Cross was able to help more than 100 people who stayed inside their shelter at the community center here in Ridgecrest. I've been told about 26 people stayed here at Freedom Park. You could see a few of the pitch tents right there. But there were, of course, some people overnight that I spoke to that told us they're just having more than trouble just sleeping.
Watch Justin Hermoso carry out bottled water from one of the few places open overnight, Fast Trip. He was avoiding the long lines he's seen since the quake.
I don't want another earthquake to happen, and I'm caught in the mix of it.
Justin lives in Trona, but is staying with his grandmother in Ridgecrest. As he filled his car up, he told us about his younger sister.
My little sister, she's kind of new to this earthquake, so she's kind of shook up about this, so that's why we left.
And it's not difficult to understand why this kind of underground force could frighten anyone. Deborah Brugel did manage to climb out of her pool without getting hurt during the 7.1 quake on Friday. By nightfall, there were plenty of neighbors who took refuge outside the Red Cross's temporary shelter setup. Richard and his 3 dogs chose to sleep inside. His mobile home was lifted off its foundation and too damaged to go home to.
We're planning to stay here for at least for, as long as this will, they can have us here.
Now, residents don't have to stay here to take advantage of some of the Red Cross help, like meals and showers. They're even talking to a caseworker. All they have to do is sign up. We will get a damage assessment and aftershock update at a media briefing that is expected to be held at 10 a.m. right next door to this community center at City Hall. That media briefing will be at 10 o'clock. John and Brandy.
Jade, I wanted to ask you, can you feel aftershocks there? I know when I was out there, I could feel a few, and after a while, it does kind of get on your nerves. What are you experiencing?
Well, it's pretty crazy. Between 9 and midnight last night, I woke up. There were about 4 of them. It was very hard to get back to sleep. I know one of the things that neighbors are talking about is that every time they have an aftershock, they just don't know if it's going to be the next big one. So they wind up staying awake.
Oh, how frightening.
Yeah, it does rattle you after a while.
Yeah.
And you start second guessing yourself. Was that another one? Was that another one? Yeah. All right, Jade, thanks for that. We'll check back with you.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, these aftershocks could continue for a very long time.
Yeah, they're talking a year, possibly.
Man. Feel for everybody out there. Following those 2 major earthquakes in just a 2-day span, LA County also wants you to be ready right now. That message is going to be stressed this afternoon at that news conference you just heard about from Jade. Seismologist Dr. Lucy Jones will be there. So what exactly should you do to get ready? Well, everyone says it's important that you have a plan. Know what you're going to do, where you're going to go, and make sure every member of your family knows about it. That's key. Be Ready Emergency Preparedness also says an emergency kit should contain things like glow sticks, emergency Mylar blankets, even ponchos, also flashlights, a radio, most importantly, water, and a lot of it. 1 gallon per person per day for at least 3 days if you're evacuating your home.
They say that you need enough for 72 hours, but in my experience, that is not nearly enough. I would advise, if possible, to have as much as you can on hand and for a minimum of 7 days.
The same goes for non-perishable food items. And while your first reaction is always run outside, get outside, experts say no. What you should do first is drop, cover, and hold on. Also, LA County Supervisor Janice Hahn is going to join us here live in the studio this morning at 9:30. If you need help getting a starter kit made, we also have you covered. You can go to our website, abc7.com/preparesocal, and see what you need to have to survive.
In other news, now to this developing story. A suspect remains in jail this morning after leading police on a chase from the San Fernando Valley to Santa Clarita. The CHP ended up chasing or joining the pursuit when the suspect got on the 5 freeway. That driver eventually came to a stop at Creekside Drive and Darcy Lane. There was a short standoff as he refused to get out of the van, but he eventually did give himself up peacefully. No word yet on why officers started chasing him. And there are also still a lot of questions this morning about a deadly police shooting of a 17-year-old girl. This happened on the 91 freeway in Anaheim. It was actually a Fullerton officer who opened fire here, and it's still unclear this morning why he fired or what he was doing in Anaheim when he did. However, the Anaheim Police Department did release a statement. It says they found an item at the scene which appears to be a handgun. The team's name has not been released just yet. She is a minor. We do have a live look now from LAX, and it's going to be a busy travel day. Millions of people traveling this holiday weekend, folks heading home from the 4th of July holiday. According to travel app Hopper, this was the busiest 4th of July in the last 3 years in the nation's airports. More than 12 million people set to fly this weekend, with the most expected today. AAA says in Southern California, about 2.8 million people are traveling by car. Drivers also facing the highest gas prices in the last 5 years. That's not slowing them down. In LA County, the average is now $3.76. Yeah, it's expensive.
Can you imagine if you've been gone this whole time and now you're coming home after 4th of July weekend and this is what we're talking about much with the earthquake?
You missed all the shaking and probably a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Still ahead, Starbucks apologizing this morning after an incident with police officers has gone viral.
We're going to tell you why a worker at that chain asked them to leave the store.
And the search is on for 2 women who police say got their nails done and bailed before they paid.
Before we go to break, though, we want to give you a live look into our camera, looking over Burbank, and we're seeing a little bit of that, what I want to call June gloom, but we're in July now, baby. That's just a little bit of the cloud cover that's hanging in there before we really start
sticking around.
Yeah, before we really start heating up. We're talking some hot temperatures. Kimmy's breaking it down in your 7-day a little bit later. Two home surveillance cameras captured this video. These cars being shaken by the quake. You can see the 2 cars kind of rocking from side to side there. They were parked in the driveway. That's not all. There's another video. It also shows a pickup truck and an SUV there. Here we go. Yeah, violently shaking in a parking area next to a home. It doesn't appear the cars suffered any damage, but you know their shocks worked pretty well, I guess.
And that's why if you're in a car, you may not feel it, because the shocks will absorb some of that for you. Yeah, an Inland Empire community is also stepping up to help a woman who's been targeted by a pair of thieves. Yeah, they struck at Red Persimmon Nails on Wood Road and Van Buren Boulevard in Riverside. A nail salon worker says 2 women skipped out on the bill, and one of them swiped cash out of her purse. She spoke to Inland Empire reporter Rob McMillan.
They're the 2 ladies accused of spending more than 2 hours at a Riverside nail salon and then taking off without paying the bill. One of them also stealing money right out of the purse of the nail tech who served her.
I said, oh my God, all my money gone.
Yen No says it happened on Sunday. They spent 2 hours helping these ladies while many customers waited.
We take care of them. They want everything, pedicure, the long massage, and the gel, and the nail, everything. The bill total $215.
But while most people pay for the service afterward, No said that didn't happen with these 2 customers.
They back and forth, and they don't want to pay. And they walk around the car and they run.
That's right, they ran. But it gets worse. About half an hour later, she discovered that one of them had stolen money out of her purse while no one was watching.
I don't feel bad for the money, but I feel bad how we serve them very good. It's just sad.
Kayla Edgman stopped by the store on her lunch break.
I don't understand why people would do that to somebody that's just trying to make a living and support their families.
Riverside police say this woman is wanted for theft, and this woman who left without paying is wanted for something called defrauding an innkeeper. If there is any good news, in the days since, the community has been offering support and donations.
Nice to see the community.
Yeah, it is. It's very nice.
Okay.
There's some good people still out there.
In Riverside, Rob McMillan, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Still ahead, the Starbucks controversy that has many customers talking.
Also, before we get a break, we want to take a live look outside into Hollywood. This is crazy because by maybe 1 o'clock this afternoon, that area is going to be bustling with people. But right now, there's barely anybody out there. We're following much more on those earthquakes also hitting Southern California coming up for you. Keep it right here.
7:48 in the morning. Welcome back, everybody. We're looking at the live view from the LAX camera. Quiet on the tarmac. We, of course, continuing to follow the big earthquake situation in Ridgecrest as well. We are still seeing a lot of aftershocks up there, but nothing significant so far since that big 7.1 earthquake.
This morning, well, Starbucks is now apologizing after a group of police officers was reportedly asked to leave this Arizona Starbucks because another customer said they were feeling unsafe. The Tempe Officers Association says those officers had just bought their drinks. They were standing together before their shift started when a barista made the request for the customer that they leave. Starbucks said it has a deep respect for the Tempe Police Department and apologized for any misunderstanding or inappropriate behavior that may have taken place. The police department says it hopes the situation was an isolated incident.
It doesn't sound like they were interacting with that other customer, so tough luck.
Odd. It's odd today.
Everybody has a right to stand at a Starbucks. They're not like harassing anybody.
No, we're getting our caffeine for the morning.
Yeah.
That's right. We all need it sometimes.
And people aren't really awake before they get their caffeine, so there is that. It all plays into it. All right.
We're also getting sunshine today.
Yeah, bringing the sunshine. Well, hopefully we get a good amount of sunshine, guys, into the afternoon because you know what? Things are certainly on the cooler side for us today. These temperatures are dropping down. This is how we start our day off today. Under these clouds, we've got a deeper marine layer. Burbank, good morning to you, 63 degrees. Winds coming in out of the south about 3 miles an hour. Humidity 84%. Hollywood Boulevard, you are still quiet this morning. Nobody's setting up just yet. We don't see any of our tour buses, but we are seeing those gray clouds out there. Gray skies, 66 in Hollywood, where the winds are calm. Humidity at 96%. But pretty soon, this place is going to be crowded, flooded with people. Okay, here's what we've got for your temperatures right now. Palm Springs, good morning. 77 for you, Big Bear, 52 degrees. We're looking at these low 70s for Palmdale as well as Lancaster, Ontario, 67 degrees for you. So starting off with a lot of cloud cover. It might take a little bit longer today to clear than what we saw over the last couple of days. So give yourselves just a little bit of time. Just know that the sunshine is coming a little bit later today. So temperatures tumbling over the next couple of days. It's a little cooler today than yesterday, and tomorrow cooler yet. A little bit of drizzle. We could squeeze out just a bit this morning, but a greater chance for tomorrow morning. And a July fry. Yes, we are looking at a warm up headed our way, so get ready for that. So enjoy these mild conditions while they last. Here's a look at your forecast in terms of those clouds, cloud cover. So things are looking pretty nice by 10 a.m. or so. And then into tomorrow morning, dun, 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 notice the green, very light in nature. But we could see a little bit of drizzle as you get your day started tomorrow morning. The new work week is starting off. Cars are out on the roads in the morning, so heads up there. All right, so here's what we've got. We've got this trough, and there it is into that timestamp into Monday, cooling it down. Now, as we fast forward the timestamp, this ridge of high pressure starts to expand, and we are looking at warmer conditions on into next weekend. Boy, it is going to be quite a big change for us. So gray skies in downtown. Yesterday, 78 degrees. For downtown Los Angeles, our official reporting station, 82 is our seasonal average. So down by about 4 degrees. Our overnight lows came in about a degree higher than the usual 63. But boy, that record that was set back last year, 104. I'm so glad we weren't anywhere near that. So these mild conditions, hey, we might as well take them while they last, right? For today, how about 102 Palm Springs? Not too shabby. Temecula coming in at 81. 85 Lake Elsinore, Big Bear, 72. Riverside, 85 degrees. So again, things are cooling down a little bit. Downtown may see these temperatures drop about 2 degrees compared to yesterday. And then going down once again for tomorrow, Malibu 71, 82 in Frazier Park. A look at your 7-day forecast powered by AccuWeather, 76 degrees for today. Notice what happens by next weekend, getting into the upper 80s, you guys. So yes, big changes are headed our way. Gosh. Enjoy these mild ones because these warm temperatures into next weekend, it's certainly going to be pretty toasty. Beaches, 72 for you. We've got some big waves out there and dangerous swimming conditions. Mountains, 74. Into the 80s we go by next weekend.
Aside from that 1 or 2 day hot spell we had, the temperatures have been pretty good.
They have been. It's been kind of nice. Well, Brandy has some comments here. What?
Yeah.
You see the warm up, but I just want to know what goes beyond the 7 day. That's
dun, dun, dun.
It's gonna get
That's
hotter
for me
at some
to
point.
know, and I'll tell you later.
Thank you.
We are following some breaking news out of Hong Kong. More demonstrations underway. Here you can see demonstrators clashing with police. The demonstrators say the crowd is about 250,000. Doesn't look that big to me, but authorities calling it about 56,000. All this, of course, started when there was a proposal to change laws in Hong Kong, allowing defendants to be tried on the mainland, which upset a lot of people, and folks have been protesting ever since.
Wow.
We'll keep an eye on this situation and let you know if anything develops out of it.
That looks like a lot of chaos right there right now. Okay. Also still ahead, we're going to take an update from our earthquake camera of all of those aftershocks that we've been feeling this morning. Nothing too significant, though, so far.
Which is good news, yeah. Plus, we're celebrating a Beatles birthday next. Welcome back, everybody. Today is Ringo Starr's birthday. He's 79 years old, and he says all he wants is for you to spread a little peace and love.
Yes, he's going to be at Capitol Records in LA today for his birthday event, inviting the entire world to help him celebrate. All you have to do is actually post peace and love at noon. He says he wants to create a wave of positivity that will travel all around the world.
And Ringo still looks pretty good, doesn't he?
He's 79, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. That's all we have for right now. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, we want to end with a live look right now at our quake camera. You can see there's a little bit of activity this morning still with some aftershocks. The Anaheim got shook a little bit. Long Beach, LA, you see, but nothing too bad. We'll see you back here in an hour.